But the HMS, you're going fencing? Or,
Wait.
well, I go reckless. I'll go reckless. I'll go reckless.
Wait. Fencing, fencing, fencing.
But if you want to listen to some good history songs, I would look up Johnny Horton, Brendan. They're very patriotic. Even though he wasn't British, he made that HMS Hood song. Um, he made the that I can't remember what it was. That song I just sang you that I couldn't think of. The Battle of New Orleans. But those are very patriotic songs where they're like really upbeat and like "Let's go America," "Let's go Great Britain," "Let's go insert country's name." But when you start looking at some of those songs, like the Battle of Alamo as well, which is not by him, Marty Robinson did it. It's a little bit biased. That's why I was saying you got to be a little bit informative because uh,
Can I
it
run,
kind of like
please?
tells the story wrong. It to a sense where it's like they're making stuff up. And when you look up the battle and then you're like, oh, I believe this happened and it didn't happen, that's where it's like a little scary, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's encouraging people to actually look it up and learn more.
That's true. That is true.
I actually mentioned Sabaton earlier before. Have you heard of them before? Or?
I have not heard of Sabaton, no.
Okay, they're this... It's a metal band from Sweden. And...
Slap on me.
It's... Their music is very reminiscent to stuff like Metallica and all that.
Yeah, I like Metallica.
But all their songs are based off of stories of war. And it's not just like current wars, but like way back in the day as well.
Oh.
Like you get a song like Primo Victoria, which is based on D-Day. But then you get something like Christmas Truce that tells one of my favorite stories about the 1900s.
Yeah, the Christmas Truce was such a good thing, like such a good story, and it's always on repeat. Just an outside.
They actually did. They actually made a song about that, and you feel the sort of hope they had, but also the anguish that these soldiers had while they sing it.
Yeah, isn't it? It's wild though, like that actually happened.
In France, they actually made a movie about that event called Joyeux Noël. And that movie actually tells the story of what happened.
Joyous.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things about it.
I will have to look that up because I always enjoy a good like history movie.
Okay. Now, you mentioned before how sometimes you fear when people take liberties in a story, and sometimes you draw the line at what's fake and what's real.
Yeah. They're right outside Pink Girl.
I'm curious, where exactly do you draw that line? Because I know you brought it up in one of the reasons why you did not like Ridley Scott's Napoleon.
Oh, you mean in a movie? Sorry, I was in the middle of fighting this person. I would say I got them both. I would say, okay, I'm not an exact historian about Napoleon's private life. I don't know that. But the Battle of Waterloo, saying that Arthur, what's his name? Why can't the Duke of Wellington? Arthur. He did do a significant part, but why didn't they show Blucher's army advancing and all that sort of stuff? It was, I mean, they showed a clip of it, but it seemed it seemed a little bit too. Like there was. Have you seen the movie? I don't want to spoil it. Are you gonna see the movie?
I probably not sometime, but when I do get to see it, I'll probably forget about it.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So there's a couple parts in that movie about Napoleon. They kind of made him seem insane, and he might have been a little bit off. He might have been a little bit this, but most of that movie, the director specifically said in an interview, historically accuracy is not what I'm going for. I'm going about the story and the storytelling, not the exact words. But that was his main point for that movie. So that's why I was a little concerned, and then when I watched the movie, I was pretty concerned. Because like, for example, there's an Egypt scene, and I understand why we're fighting by the pyramids for dramatic effect. I get that, right? You know, you throw the pyramids in the background. That's Napoleon propaganda did that as well. But Napoleon did that actually 50 miles south, away from the pyramids, that battle. But that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is in the movie, I think it's in the trailer as well, they shoot a cannonball straight into the pyramid. Like, that never happened. That, you know, changing the landscape was dramatic effect. There's also the private life room. I don't know all of that, to be honest with you. I really do not. But I don't think Napoleon was a sex-hungry addict. Like, we've been there. We've been there, done that. Just go to dip the black screen and come back out. Zipline.
To be fair, Walking Phoenix has been in some weird movies.
Yeah, Walking Phoenix, I think, was a great person to be a candidate for that Napoleon, but it did not feel like Walking. I tagged him once. I don't think Walking Phoenix has been my favorite, like, actor in The Joker and Gladiator and that sort of stuff. But this movie, it just seemed like Walking Phoenix just showed up, took the lines, and read them. It didn't seem like he was acting as much. And, by the way, in that whole Napoleon movie, it seemed like he died of an aneurysm in water. It seemed like he died of an aneurysm, but he died of stomach cancer. They didn't mention that once in the whole film. I was very upset about that. Like, that was a very, you know, crucial part of his life and his actions.
You know, I know this talk with Napoleon just reminds me of this old show I remember watching growing up. I don't know if you've heard of it, but have you ever heard of Time Squad?
Time Squad? No.
It's an old Cartoon Network show, like late 90s, early 2000s. The premise of it is it was a trio, and if this over-the-top, buff but dim-witted space commander, an effeminate robot who's voiced by Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, and a little boy named Otto, who is an expert on history. They live in the distant future.
Let's get on this, Justin.
Yeah.
Let's get on this. Get on this, because the medallion people are pushing me right now. Medallion people are down to the right. So they were doing... What were they doing exactly?
They live in the future, but they're called the Time Squad because they've been tasked to go back in time and fix any inconsistencies that have happened in history. Like, for example,
I'm getting that medallion and coming back up.
I mean, sometimes it's like small stuff. Sometimes it's small stuff, like Napoleon. They did do an episode on Napoleon, and the inconsistency was he was being dominated by his nagging wife.
That's the same premise in this movie as well. So it must be some sort of consistent timeline in that regard.
Yeah, but sometimes it's ridiculous. Like, they go back to Vienna to Ludwig von Beethoven because his inconsistency is he's given up composing to become a professional wrestler.
Bruh.
people down below us to our west.
Or there was the episode where they go back to the time of Genghis Khan, where they find out that Genghis Khan has lost his edge and has become like a comic book seeking nerd. And he only becomes ruthless again because one of them destroys his comic book and he decides to execute him for doing so.
Oh, there it is. Oh man.
Like that was actually one of my earliest that was one of my earliest inspirations for loving history, because not only was I interested in learning more about the person, but I was curious to see what sort of ridiculous scenario they would put him in. One more episode I remember, they actually went back in time to see Edgar Allan Poe, and the inconsistency here is that Poe has become bright and cheerful, and is making his
We need to make
his-
it depressed.
yeah, they had to make him depressed.
Let's go to Circle now before these people show up.
Which honestly is kind of messed up now that I think about it. But it flew over my head as a kid. Like, is there a particular person in history aside from Napoleon that you love learning about?
Besides Napoleon, that's a real good question. I would say... obviously everyone likes Abraham Lincoln, but I would... Or most people like Abraham Lincoln, let me take that back. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is just a beautiful tactician, writer, as well as not an artist, but politician. Now, he was a little crazy.
Right here.
All these people that I like are a little crazy. Nice shot. I would say Julius Caesar, yeah. I'm gonna zip line down. Or, no, can we get on the... Should we get on the boat, Justin? He's on the boat.
Right here,
He's on the boat.
right here.
Oh, behind us. All the way far. Far, get back to the car. Take some cover. Take some cover behind the car.
Damn.
Okay, so... I'd say to answer your question, if anything, my dad and my uncle were more military experts than I am.
Oh, you could reboot me.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You're welcome, my guy. Now they're gonna be pushing you eventually.
They're really far. I should have just done it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If I could hit a shot, that would be so legit.
Oh my god!
Please tell me that rock's in.
It is in zone. It's
Oh.
in zone. It's in zone. It's in zone.
Okay. Okay, another... Okay, I just remembered another musical thing that... I can't believe I didn't think about this group earlier. Epic Rap Battles of History.
Oh, those things are cool. Those are cool as a kid.
Remember Mitt Romney versus Barack Obama? That was
Yeah.
good. And then Abe Lincoln just comes out of nowhere. Oh, he's got the Peter.
Okay. So...
Or Alright, it's 1v1v1.
They actually did come back with a new one recently. It was Henry Ford versus Karl Marx.
What? That's like a really weird one.
Actually, it made sense in the comments. Capitalism versus socialism. Or communism, or however you want to put it.
Oh.
I really want that shield guy to go. I don't want to fight this kid. I want that shield guy to go. Where is my bloom?
It's on your left.
There's a guy straight ahead.
He's probably in that bush. He is in the bush now. Damn it.
Oh, he fell off.
Which guy had the shield? All right, please.
I think the one.
Straight ahead.
What happened to my?
No way. Oh,
Oh my god. I didn't know his teammate died. Holy crap. When I pulled that sniper out, my aim just went straight up to the air. Holy heck. This is the history episode. That's what this
We're gonna
one's
need the
called.
thumbnail for that one.
Yes. History episode. Holy heck.